All right, here we are, guys, back again for another installment of Historical New York by Bike. Today we have a big one. Oh yeah, Cypress Hills Cemetery. Quite big. Quite big. So we have only been here, well, I've only been here one time before. So I don't know everything. I just know that it is quite big and it has some very old sections to it that are historical. We are going to explore it today, pretty much for the first time, because the last time I was here was a short time. I didn't really see the whole entire thing, but we're going to give a nice thorough ride through and hopefully cover the entire grounds, which is enormous. It's quite big. This entrance that I came in on is the Glendale entrance. I believe this spans all the way into the borders of Brooklyn. So hopefully we'll find some new discoveries today and find some interesting things. Some really nice statues here, and take a turn down this first roadway here. See where this leads to. Looks like it leads to nowhere. Just another nice cross here. It's a statue of a cross. But then there's another gate here. Interestingly enough, I don't know if that's all part of the same cemetery or if that's another one. This is a big one, so I guess we'll try and approach it from the perimeter like we always do, just to see the borders and how far down we're going. And then we'll work our way towards the middle. And what I do remember, the last time that I did come here, which was the first time that I was here for a short period, is that they have very big hills here. So it's gonna be a challenge for both of us. You guys, the viewers, and me, the rider. Right. So right off the bat, this is pretty interesting. I've not seen anything like this before, where there's a nice little island in the middle here, with one mausoleum by itself, away from everything else. As you can see, some of these stones are mixed in with amongst older stones. There's some newer stones. These stones on the right are in some type of Asian writing. I don't know what kind of writing, but a very beautiful cemetery. And to my left, some really old stones, just kind of mixed in. Let's turn around and just get another view of that, because that was really, look at this. That's really interesting. Just on the hill like that, it's like not even straight where their stones are. That's very interesting. I kind of wonder how they're able to do that on a hill like that, on an angle. I just have to point that out and continue on. So yeah, to my right I see another gate. It's the gate that was from the other section before where we were. And I wonder if that's still the same part of this cemetery or it's a different one. But as you can see, this is a pretty big one. You can not really see to the other side, or, I mean, well, the other ones were like that in a way, but this is just huge. So I guess I'll follow this road to start, and we'll see where it takes us. So for those who are just tuning in for the first time on this new episode, I've mentioned this once before, and I'll mention it again, just a little trivia piece about how Queens is one of the boroughs with the most cemeteries, and Queens in fact has more than twice the number of inhabitants that are in Queens are dead than alive. So that's just a little food for thought, that when you drive through these places, or you even if you're not driving through them, if you're passing by them, you just see them in the car or the bike or bus, or when you're walking, to just realize that there are more dead people around you when you're in Queens at any given moment than there are living. So this splits over here. I think I'm going to go this way and try to loop back around, which looks like it might make sense. And I'm kind of thinking that Cypress Hills Cemetery is also kind of an all fates, because I'm seeing a lot of different backgrounds and names on the stones, and thinking that could be the case. Now, what I thought was going to loop around by those stones on the right that look pretty old. They look very old, actually. And that building is quite old too as well. I wonder if that's part of the cemetery, or if it's a crematory that belongs to the cemetery, because I see a chimney-like stack. So I don't know if that's just for heat because it was an old building, but it looks interesting. So now I think I just did a circle back to where we started. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So we'll turn around, turn back around, and we'll go to the other road where it's forked and the road was. And I love these little, I don't know what they call them, when you see they're like kind of like miniature little graveyards, where they have like the piping or the little gates around the stones. Very intricate, you know, work to get that done, and I don't think it's something that they do anymore. It's probably an older thing that's probably not done anymore, probably because of space purposes. As you can see, when you approach the more modern parts of the cemetery, it tends that you see the stones are closer together than when you're at the older sections, or where there's older stones, they're kind of like away. Just something that I noticed. All right, so we came up this road on the right, and we made the split over here to the left. So let's see what we got if we would have went straight. I see some nice hills up ahead, and it's a very, very peaceful, serene environment that we're in right now. It's really like very nature-like, especially considering that we're in a part of Queens it's residential, but also has kind of an industrial side to it. Like that first All Faith Cemetery is not too far from here, and as I showed you in the video, you have residential houses, and then it just goes into an industrial area, and then there's a cemetery, and there's like those two houses that kind of are just like on the cemetery's property, which is weird. Or maybe it's not really the cemetery's property, but it looks like they are. And then to my left here, I see another gate. So this could be part of another cemetery, because there are like 4 really big ones in this area here that kind of get mistaken for being all the same one. But I don't think that that is the same one. I think that's a different one. And I don't know which one that is. So these are all new explorations that we're doing. If I was to guess, this might be part of the Jewish cemetery that's across from this cemetery, where the famous Harry Houdini is buried. And we will be visiting that one soon. That's this little spoiler. I don't know when. Maybe today, maybe in the next video. We'll see. Also want to start going and branching out to different areas and seeing more historical areas other than just cemeteries. But there's so many of them, and there's so many nice monuments and stones and just nice grounds to ride through that I feel like we should just visit them. Alright, so now approaching this little circle here. It's not little. I like how you see that up there on the top. There's another, looks like a very old graveyard. You know what? Let's see if we can make our way up there and take a look at that, because that's quite interesting. I really like that, how that's up on the hill like that. So you can see it right straight ahead up on that hill where that monument is. We're gonna travel up there and see that little graveyard. It's like a miniature graveyard inside of a graveyard. Now these stones look quite old. I'll try and see if I can get a year off of at least one of them. So this says, this plot belongs to the Andrews Society of the State of New York. Strangers and pilgrims on the earth. So I'm assuming these are unmarked graves, and that's what it's looking like. Yeah, these are unmarked graves. It's kind of sad. But you know what? That's why we do these videos, because keeping their memory alive. And even if we don't know who they are, they're not here left alone. Someone's coming here and acknowledging them. And that is what's important. To acknowledge them, to remember them, and realize that they once too lived on this earth like we do, and we're people like us that might have had families, that might have had a lot of friends, that had good times, bad times, and when they just passed, and I don't know if that was people that might have been homeless, they might have been just less fortunate, couldn't afford to buy their own plot, so they got put into a public type of plot. But either way, they still deserve to be remembered, and they still deserve to be visited and not forgotten. As I come down this way, I'm seeing some, looks like some older stones mixed in, some older monuments, which is what I'm seeking out. Amongst the newer ones, I want to find the forgotten old ones and awake that idea that they will no longer be forgotten. And that's what we do here on this channel. We visit old places or places that have been around for a while, that have history behind them. And we try to, actually, let's see, I want to go up this section first. We try to keep them, the memory of wherever we're at, alive, and kind of immortalize that idea that this stuff isn't left here to rot, and it isn't left here to just be forgotten. So I see a nice little tunnelway, which I think will take us to the other side of the cemetery, because this looks like a dead end. But as you can see, it expands all the way up. So even though the roadway stops, there's still more burials back there. And this is a interesting thing about this cemetery. It seems like there's a lot of little cul-de-sac style roadways that kind of just end and don't fully go through. Now I'm going to try one more roadway. Actually, no, we came from there. So let's try going back down here through that tunnel. I keep seeing signs that say tunnel. So this is very interesting. So that looks like, yeah, that's the Jackie Robinson Parkway. So now we're going under the Jackie Robinson Parkway, which will put us to the other side. Oh wow, that is some echo. The acoustics in there are amazing. All right, so now we've reached the other side of the cemetery. I like how you're able to get through without having to cross the main road. That's a nice thing about this cemetery. It's also what keeps it so huge, because it's all connected by all these roads. So now I think I'm in the section where I was once before, when that first time I came. A lot of hills here. So let's see what's up this way. Try to change gears there, but couldn't get the momentum. All right. So we made it. That was a steep one. All right, so let's approach this from here. There's a building here. Kind of looks like a chapel or a church. Let's take a ride around this. Take a look. The cornerstone said 1931. I think it said 1931. Not sure. Could be 1931 or 1831. I think it was 1931 though. Alright, so now this is the section of the cemetery that runs alongside the Jackie Robinson Parkway. As you see straight ahead, that's what that is. And there's a shot of that building. Now I'm wondering if that's like an indoor type of mausoleum, or if it's just a chapel. It could be. I'm going to see if I can find a little bit more markings on it on the front when we make our way around. And we'll also check that cornerstone again just to see the actual year to confirm it. Oddly enough, I'm not really seeing like a main entrance to it. I guess that's the main entrance over there where we were before. Doesn't really look like it, but okay, yeah, that is the entrance. I'll take a ride closer to that and see what it says. Memorial Abbey. So I imagine it's some type of chapel. Now, I'm going to take a better look at that cornerstone. And yes, 1931 is confirmed. So this is not as old as I might have thought it might have been. Still going on 100 years old soon. So it ain't young, it ain't new. As we climb this hill, because this is a steep one, might not look it on the camera, but let me tell you, I'm feeling it. Looks like they have another burial going on up there, or some type of renovation. Not quite sure. Wow. Now this is a view. I don't know if you can enjoy this as good as I can enjoy it on this camera, as I'm enjoying it in real life. But this is such a view. I feel like I'm on top of the world here, just looking down. And let's have a look from this fence over here. Looks like we can get an even better view of what appears to be another type of church or school. Not sure. But this is big. As you can see, this is a big one. It goes really far. And look at that. That's still part of the cemetery. Can you believe that? I mean, that's wild. It's incredible of just how far this cemetery spans. I mean, just to give you the idea of what I'm seeing right now, I don't know if I'm capturing it. It is huge. You wouldn't want to get lost in this place, because you'll be spending a lot of time trying to get out. We're going to keep pushing forward and we're going to see what's down there, where that leads us to. I also do see some older stones and older monuments that look pretty old that we can check out and see what the years and stuff on that is. Now this is incredible. Look at this. I like how they did this here. They actually put this mausoleum into the hill. That's something. And look at the vines just growing on the front of that. That has not been visited for quite some time. And that says 1893 that burial took place in, or that monument was constructed. So yeah, this is quite old. And look at how that tree grows. That is something, how that tree grows right out of the top of that, behind it. But that is something. Keep on going. Bro, look at that, another huge hill, but a lot more coverage. This is a lot of coverage that we have today to do. There's some more of these older monuments. 1876, and that one's been sealed up. And the one next to it doesn't even have a year on it or even a name, and that's also been sealed up. So that's quite old. It's kind of falling apart a little bit, because you can see some of the stones have been just filled with cement. They're just trying to keep it together, and that's sad. And I don't even see a name on it or a year on it, or if there was, it's all, you know, the acid rain or whatever just took it right off. You can't see anything really. And here's another interesting one. Look at this one. I'll make it turn around so we can see it. Look at this. It's like kind of, wow. Just on the hill like that. It's very interesting how they do that on like an angle. Let's come up through this way. We haven't come up this way yet. And wow, look at that. Hold on a second. Now that's something. I'm going to try and capture it on the camera. You can see right into that crypt. I can see right through the other side. I see light. Now I don't know if that stone just collapsed in there and if it's buried down deeper, but that is something. Let's take a ride back up to the top here. That should bring us to where we were before when we first started up on this hill. More of a modern style monument here. And then see, you have some older stuff here as well. All right, so this is going to put us in a circle from where we were before. Let's go back down and we'll veer on the other path. I'm going to actually go to the top first and then work our way down, which seems to make sense. Alright, so this, I believe, is the way we came up through the tunnel. So we're going to not want to go back down that way. That'll bring us back to the beginning. Now we want to go up this way. Even higher than the other section? No. The other section was higher up. But you still got some incredible views. older stones and monuments that you don't usually see unless they're almost 100 years old or older. Now, I haven't found the sorry about that, I'm just trying to wait and pass before I can talk in a noisy mower. I haven't found the receiving vault, the receiving tomb in this particular cemetery. They might not even have one, but I would think they would if they have some of these older gravestones. I'm sure they do have one. The question is just where. And usually they're when you first enter the main entrance. Now this might not be the main entrance that we came in on in Glendale. That could have been, it kind of did look like a newer section. So it looks like we're getting into an older section right now. I'm not seeing too many newer modern stones. More older style stones. So this definitely looks like the older section, or maybe where it first opened up from, or they first started burying people in. It looks like they built the newer style mausoleum, and on one of those outdoor / indoor mausoleums it has a little bit of both. Here's some old ones too. Another one with no year, very old looking. Another one with no, 1850, yeah, see, we're getting even older. These are real old, 1850. So over 100 years old. Soon to be 200 years old if you think about it. We're already in 2024. So, you know, 26 years from now, that'll be 200 years old. And we are definitely in the old section here. Very interesting monuments. As you can see, the way that the cemeteries change over time. This is definitely a more hillier area too. I guess that was the thing. They did like to have these graves up on hills like this. It looks really nice from far away and makes it really hard to get around, but that's why I said this was going to be a tough one. A lot of hills. We'll make it through though. This is strange right here. A mausoleum where the front is facing this fence here. Now I don't know what this gate is, if it's another cemetery or another section. This is a very confusing layout. But we're going to take a peek so I can show you a little bit better how strange this is. Look at this. Why would you face that towards a fence instead of facing it the opposite way? Unless that fence wasn't there and these graves that are like literally right in front of it were added so many years later. It makes no sense. Unless upon request the person wanted it that way. It doesn't seem like it would be. I know a lot of the other stones are facing this way, but to me it would make more sense if they had it facing this open space back here. But like I said, it's a very old cemetery and we don't know what the cemetery must look like when that was built. that tree that's right in front of it, that fence that's right there, and those stones that are also quite old. Might not be as old as that, where there is no year I see. So this is a very interesting section that we found right here. It's almost like two cemeteries in the same cemetery, but they're gated off. The gates are locked, unless it's a different cemetery, or I don't know. It's just very strange. It doesn't make much sense, but as you can see to the right, as we're approaching, that's that building that we saw from up on the top. We're getting closer, and that's how far away we were before, and where we're at right now. We're approaching a little bit closer. We'll see what that is, or try to see what that is. If we can get, I don't know if we can even get closer to that. Now that looks like it's in the other cemetery, or the other gated area. Very interesting. Now looking at that, it looks like a school. It does look like a school. Maybe not, yeah, it looks like a school, but I can't be 100% certain. So if I was to bet, that looks like a school. I don't know if we're going to be able to go around it, but I can't confirm that just yet. Alright, so the road goes back up. Oh wow. This is another big hill we're going to go back up. We'll take this pathway back to where we were before so we can see some more. And just look how they're stacked on the right, just like stacked all the way going up to the top. It's incredible. Just even the thought, the architecture that was thought into this, just to build this place or construct it, and it's something. All right, back to where we came down. So let's keep going this way now. This is the way that we came. And we've just made coverage of that area. We'll keep on pushing through, see where we're at. I do see some really old stones in that cemetery to the left, and it's got my interest now to find out what that is. So I'm going to try and get to the left to see if there's an entrance to it, or a name, or a better view. Cemetery was a big cemetery. Now I think Calvary might be the largest one in Queens, but we're definitely reaching the Brooklyn border here. We're very, very close to the Brooklyn border. And these are old stones on my left. And yeah, that looks like another cemetery, because you can't get in from here. we'll have to investigate that on another episode. Let's see what that is. Now this is the main entrance, I think. I see a big gate over here, so it looks like this could be the big gate, main entrance. Would make sense. And I'm looking for a receiving vault or a receiving tomb. Now, they're not necessarily always right there at the entrance, but they're usually not too far from it, as you've seen in past videos that I pointed out. That is the main gate. This brings us back up to where we saw before, that modern style or modern built mausoleum. So here we go. That's where we were before. 1894, 1900. Chain came off. Gonna have to address that real quick. I was trying to change gears coming up this hill and I wasn't able to do it because the chain popped off because I wasn't going fast enough to switch gears. So I'm very sorry about that. Slight delay. But we'll get back going. That's nice up there. Nice flag. Some type of monument. I'm gonna take a look at that next. It says Police Arlington. And it looks like the American flag with the police flag underneath it. So let's take a closer look, see what that placard says. And it says, the Honor Legion of the Police Department of the City of New York dedicates this memorial to all police officers of the City Police Department who proudly serve the greatest city in the world. Look at that. Now, that's something that's probably forgotten. People don't even know it's here. But once again, on historical New York, by bike, we have discovered it, and we are showing it to the world right now. Such a beautiful monument, the way it's laid out. Now, to the right here, this looks almost like a military cemetery. This might be a section that is for military burials. I'm gonna see if I see anything closer. I see a sign over there. We'll take a look at that. Now, there is another flagpole adjacent to this one. No flags on it though, just a pole. So I don't know what's going on with that. But we'll take a look and we will see if we can find anything else out about these stones over here on the right. Now, this is a huge cemetery, like I said so many times before. We've been going quite a bit now, and I don't think we've even covered the whole thing yet. We still have, looks like we have a decent amount more to go. Let's see what this says over here. Okay, this makes sense. It is military. Now, what it says is, these are the Confederate burials in the National Cemetery, New York City in the Civil War. Okay, I'm going to read this to you guys so you can take a look at it on the camera as I read it, if you can see it. I'm trying to get a good view. But it says, New York City saw no Civil War battles, but many Union soldiers passed through it. Before the war ended, the city housed thousands of Confederate soldiers in its prisons and hospitals. Many soldiers from both sides died and are buried here. So you got both Confederate, and you also have the Union soldiers as well. Prison facilities including the Tombs, Bedloe's Liberty Island, Hart's Island, Fort Lafayette, Governor's Island, Fort Schuyler, Rikers Island, Fort Columbus, and Castle Williams all held Confederate soldiers. Day Camp General Hospital of David's Island, though not a prison, treated thousands of Confederates wounded at the Battle of Gettysburg. The Hart's Island facility was the last established and the largest New York City's prisons. And at no time during this short operation, April-July 1865, did it hold fewer than 3,000 prisoners. Wow. Now it says the Confederate dead within the private cemetery of the same name, Cypress Hills National Cemetery, was established in 1862 for Union soldiers who died in the New York City area hospitals. It was among the first national cemeteries Congress created. As the number of Confederate prisoners of the war increased, so did the casualties. The federal cemetery had sufficient burial space, so the U.S. Army began interring Confederate dead here too. Wow, look at that. Unlike, well, I'm sorry about that. It looked like the camera might have overheated. It just stopped midway through. So maybe we're gonna keep going, and the breeze will probably keep the camera cooler, or we're getting to some shadier spots. So hopefully we are not gonna have that happen again. I guess we're just standing right in the sun and the camera just overheated. So yeah, look at this. These are the military graves. The funny thing is, it's not even as hot as it was the other days that I videoed too, but I guess because it was right in the sun that did it and caused it to overheat. Now you can see these are old stones. Now I'm not sure, we had that failure again. I didn't read what it said, but I still have 21% of battery left. Now that is pretty low. I think that the heat and the long recording continuously using this higher frame rate might have done that. So I'm gonna hope that it'll be able to continue on till the end and I could splice these videos together. So it might be a little bit of an issue, but maybe for these longer recordings I might have to actually get some extra batteries. But it says 21%, so we're going to keep pushing forward. I apologize for that. It might be the battery at this point, because I'm really putting a strain on it, but we'll see. I'm going to keep going. I'll apologize ahead of time if the camera goes down again, but I think we've seen pretty much the whole cemetery. There's just that one little corner section on the way out right here. Actually, I don't even think you can get out over here. No, the gate's closed. That's the topmost corner. We saw the other two perimeters of it. We'll go back down here. That's where that flagpole was, where that hill was. We'll go up that dirt gravel road, go down it rather, and pretty much that looks like the end. So good thing this happened towards the end and not towards earlier in the beginning of the video. So this is a gravel road. Let's hope I can get down this road without falling. And surprisingly, we made it right to the top here, back where we started. All right. So I believe we go here to the left. This should take us back around to the tunnel, I think, or at least the road where the tunnel was, where you can get out. That's another interesting one. Look at that. That whole thing is buried underneath it. Wow. Look at that. Now this road here should lead us back around. This is the last section, the absolute last section, and that's where we saw, I think, when we came in. Isn't that where they were doing that burial? Actually, it might be a different one, or it might be doing some type of renovation. Yeah. This is, oh wow, I don't even know if this is where we first came in. Now I'm lost. This is a whole nother section. Look at this. Oh no, we've seen these. Yeah, these are the old ones. Yep, that were buried inside the ground. Actually, maybe not. This might be a totally different section. It is. Now this place is massive. we are still seeing new things. Well, right up ahead definitely is where we first came in. I don't know. Let's go back up here then. Yeah, because that's where the overlook is. Okay. Okay, so this is the hill. Okay, let's go back down that way, because this is the way we came. That's up on the hill by where we went up top to overlook that overview right there. Let's go back down this way here and see. Hopefully the camera won't shut off on us. We have low battery. And I had that happen twice already. Alright, well this is no, okay, so there is no road here, no outlet, okay. So much for that idea. I guess we have to go up that way to get back out. Like I said, I knew this would be an adventure. It's a first time new discovery for me right now, because I've only been here very briefly for a short period and I didn't see the entire cemetery. Just in passing, I took a quick ride through it, and that was one time, and I seen just a few little things that looked historical where I said, you know what, I should put this on a video. Okay, so it's saying exit this way. Do not enter that way. Exit this way. So let's check here. All right, so this is the right direction now. Seeing the very last few things before we get to the area where we came in, which I believe is down here. Okay, yes, I see where we are now. There's that flagpole. This is where we came before. So, I guess we have to go back this way and go down one of those other roadways. So that's about it. Now we've seen that that was the end. Finally. And now we just got to navigate our way out of here, and hopefully we don't lose the camera again. All right. This is the way we came. It really is like a maze. We have to find that tunnel. Okay, so it shut off again. I realized what it is. It is the battery. The battery definitely drained down. Gonna have to get some spare batteries to start carrying in case that happens again. But I just want to say real quick, we're gonna end the video right now as I'm on the way out. Once again, thank you today for joining me. Okay guys, I just wanted to apologize for the camera battery dying. So just want to say once again, thank you for joining me. Be safe and take care of yourselves. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day.